We are at Mama Grace Onyango Social Hall right here in the heart of Kisumu Tukodala. We are at home. We are having a conversation around devolution and figuring out if it is working for the people of Kisumu, the wins that they have enjoyed, the things that they are loving about devolution, and if not, what are the pain points and how can we fix them? And of course, luckily the Deputy Governor and of course the CEO for the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital have agreed to stay on with us for a little bit just to be able to interact with the people of Kisumu and to be able to answer some of their questions and speak to some of the things that are working. And I know one thing that we will definitely like to start with is perhaps an understanding of what your county government is meant to do for you. Because we were in Kisii yesterday and we struggled with the demarcation, right? National government and county government. We are 15 years into a new constitution. We are 13 years into devolution with county governments, but it seems that there's still not a proper understanding of who does what. So I think that's a really good place to start this conversation. And I'll open it up to the room and just ask, do you know what your county government is meant to do for you? Okay, right there. We can start with Masera.
Thank you very much. My name is Akecho Bat Masera. I'm the CEO of Mama Grace Onyango. My name is Akecho Bat Masera. I'm the CEO of Mama Grace Onyango Culture and Social Center. This is an established cultural center which came as a result of devolution. Kisumu in the previous past was the cultural center of East and Central Africa. Through the vibrancy of the center, courtesy of Professor Okot Pabitek, who was based here, and during his tenure within this space, I brought various Dr. David Ubadiri and great stalwart. So that was in the past. So in the year 2020, His Excellency the Governor saw the importance of arts and culture. You see, in this society, people do not understand what is arts and culture. They assume that arts is entertainment. They don't realize that art supersedes entertainment. Art is the totality of people's way of life. So arts play a critical role. So that is why the governor decided to create this space, which is now known as Mama Grace Onyango Culture and Social Center. The center is named after iconic Kenyan politician who became the first woman member of parliament in East and Central Africa, the first woman who became the mayor in East and Central Africa in 1965. So Grace Onyango as a person was passionate about arts and culture. She became the first woman who became the Secretary General of Luo Union East Africa. Then it was Luo Union East Africa. Now it is Luo Council of Elders. It has gone down.
Yeah.
So basically at this center, now we realize that devolution is trying to make creative economy as the cornerstone to empower a young creative artist. So the artists are given this space to use this space to enhance their skills, to engage with the community, and to get a better understanding. As we speak, we are also going to have, it's called Kisumu County Fiesta, where Kenya Cultural Center, the National Center, comes and engage with the young artists all over the county to impart them with skills so they don't have to go to the university, because theater is more practical. So that is one. So next week we'll be having Kenya Cultural Center engaging with young creative artists.
Okay.
Right.
In the previous past, the governor also sponsored a group from Kisumu to go and participate at the 4th World of Black and African Festival of Arts and Culture in Arusha, which enabled the FESTAC to come to Kisumu. And secondly, again, Misango Arts Ensemble has also been sponsored by the governor to go and represent Kisumu during the 6th World of Black and African Festival of Arts and Culture in Accra, Ghana.
Okay, we'll come back to you because I think you've got very important context on not just the social center, but also how you're amplifying and encouraging talent. So we'll come back to you and even find out the same way I asked the Deputy Governor about Kisumu as an economic hub, is also seeing how it can be scaled to being an arts and cultural center hub. But we'll come back to you in just a moment. And just going back to Mariam's initial question, as you've heard, I think according to our first speaker, is that devolution is working, because without it, we wouldn't even have been sitting here today having this baraza. For anybody else to react and respond, has devolution trickled down to the residents of Kisumu? Again, just anybody can put up their hand, tell us your name, what you do. He's talked about culture, arts, he's talked about the importance of how this has been a result of devolution. What about for you?
Yes, madam. I'm Collins Choni, an upcoming entrepreneur doing the business of hawking in the main bus park of Kisumu. Now, my response, as per if devolution is working, I can say that really it has done something tangible. Reason being, for example, if I can say, in the education sector, since devolution, we had some vocational trainings or vocational centers that were almost dying. Just besides us here, we have a Rotary Vocational Training Center that had gone dead. But since the devolution, I can actually say that we usually have a yearly or graduation that is always taking place. Our young people are getting training there. Different types of skills are being obtained there. So to me, I can say that we've realized the reason of devolution having been inaugurated by since 2010 constitution that brought devolution system of governance. So as per now, we in Kisumu, we can say something that devolution has done something that is tangible and can be demonstrated to the people in the community.
All right.
Thank you.
You said you're a trader.
Yes, I'm a trader.
For you, has devolution made your work easier, your business more seamless? Or is there something that you would still want to be done aside from like the few things that you've mentioned just now?
Okay. In regard to the business we are doing, we can say that since the devolution came, we have different groups, CBOs, we have circles, we have self-help groups. We can say that there comes a time where these groups are being given money to boost their businesses by the county government. So for us to get something like that, it means that were it not we have devolution, the small business traders won't have got what I'm saying now. So in terms of business, we can say that there is something that is done by devolution.
Yeah, it's improving. Okay, that's a good point to make. And before we invite Dr. Lesempe and Dr. Cheng to respond, I'd like to hear from somebody else. Which service, since devolution, which service has gotten better and which one, for whatever reason, has gotten worse? I'd want to hear from any of the people. Okay, you want to speak to that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I have a problem with my back, so I cannot stand up as such. There's a problem. Sorry, my name's Calvin Orina Mukaya. I happen to be a tout at the bus park. There's a problem within Kisumu municipality. That is Kisumu County, especially this town here. If you walk downtown, the town is very clean. But just come behind here. The situation is pathetic. So I think something has to be done. In terms of security, we have goons around here. The police, we have a police post around here, but they are not working as such because of some of the things that normally happen during the day, even at night. So I think that county government has to come in a very clear way and put off those kinds of hooliganism and those kind of things. So with those very few remarks, thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Maybe good time for the Deputy Governor to respond, perhaps. Yeah. to a few of those before we get into, but we're still opening up to your views and to your thoughts. I can see a few heads nodding and I see the wheels are turning, but just hold your thought as the Deputy Governor responds.
Yeah, so I'm happy to join together with my county citizens in this engagement, and I think this is for us very important because it's more like getting the views of the people so that leadership can respond to the same. And my brother Calvin Orina Mokaya has raised some very valid points. He's talked about cleanliness that is not, equal. I mean, there are areas that are clean, as he says, but there are also areas that, are still struggling, to keep up with the pace of Kisumu. He's talked about insecurity. Okay, and in the past few months, actually, we've had issues of insecurity, and I want to assure Mokaya that the governor and the regional commissioner are doing everything, to ensure that Kisumu is safe. And at this point, maybe just to ask that the citizens of the county of Kisumu need to share information. You see, bad people are just among us. Okay, and so if you can share information, then we can help keep our neighborhoods safe. I am going to
Sorry,
escalate.
Deputy Governor,
Yes.
when you say everything, what does everything mean? When you say the governor and the regional commander are doing everything to keep Kisumu safe, what does everything mean?
Well, it may not be possible for me to divulge the strategies that are being employed by the security agencies. What I can tell the people of Kisumu is that periodically, and especially when we are confronted with the issues of insecurity, when it escalates, then of course we sit with the regional commissioner and the county service commanders, and there's a discussion at that level of what needs to be done to keep our people safe. And some of those security arrangements may not be possible for us to discuss in public, but just for them to know that we get their concern and that something is being done about it.
Okay.
The details of which I cannot be able to divulge. Right. In terms of cleanliness, of course, I have the environment team and the city. We are going to, talk to them about that, and so that those areas can be cleaned up. But then the issues of goons, Janet, I think it's not just a Kisumu problem. We are talking about a youth bulge in our country. We are talking about lack of spaces for employment. I know the government is trying, both national and county, to ensure that we have, enterprises that can absorb the young people. So in Kisumu, yes, it is true that we've seen a proliferation of goons, so to speak. And sometimes they're also being fueled by politicians, unfortunately.
Being used.
Being used for, stuff like that. But it's more because they have nothing, to do. So as we move on, both county and national government might think about strategies to create employment for the youth, because that's what will get them from there.
Maybe let's hear from a youth now.
Yeah,
a young person,
especially on unemployment. I think it's a perfect segue, and he's even mentioned it. I see a lot of young people here. We've spoken to two gentlemen about their employment. Is anyone here unemployed?
Okay.
Okay.
You are
okay.
You can talk about it.
Okay. So that's basically 38. I think 38% was from the last Kenya National Bureau of Statistics youth unemployment rate for Kisumu, which is higher than the national average. So then that's something to definitely interrogate. But yes, let's speak to them first, and then we can speak to it from a policy perspective.
So let's hear.
Okay. Hi guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Washington Obwanda. I'm a Kisumu resident. Just briefly to say how the young people are really struggling. I'm a theater artist, so I'll just talk more on the area of theater. Like my friend here said that there is this partnership between now the Kisumu County and the Kenya National Theatre about how they can now build theater in Kisumu. I just have my concern because young people are really struggling to maybe prepare for plays, for the presentation. I'm not sure if there is any input the county government is putting in place in those groups who are right now preparing for the event. For for the competition if it is not a small amount that will come from the national government. So I just want also to hear that from our deputy governor. What are the steps that they are putting in place to ensure that them as the host, the event that is going to happen before the end of this month here, is going to be successful to the young people? And then another question is there any amount in the county government that has been left to build small businesses for young people and also to uplift their creativity in terms of how they can be able to go on with their own lives? Because almost roughly 70% of young people are really struggling. Yes, the devolution is working, but I can say not so much to the young people.
To the young people.
Yeah, so also, then also shortly now to say something also about infrastructure.
Yeah.
I think there's a point that was raised which was very, very valid. The town is very clean, very, very clean. And when you are in town, you can feel things are going on well. But going outside the town, there are some roads that really need to be looked up to.
Okay.
Especially roads that leads to the city. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Let's look into that. I know we're going into a break, and that's come up before. Somebody else here is also speaking to insecurity. How is it that the most patrolled areas in Kisumu remain the most insecure? We see a police Land Rover almost daily in Manyata from 7 or 9 p.m., yet there are minimal arrests. So again, going back to the matter of insecurity, going back to what you've just said about on face value, some of it looks clean, but it's not getting to the back there. So the deputy governor will come back and respond to that. And then hopefully we can also hear from more young voices. I know yesterday we saw a rehearsal for a play. Really want to find out more about that. Fixing the Nation, one conversation at a time. It's coming up to 8:30. Some of you are already sharing your views. Keep them coming. We'll be able to present those questions or comments right here as we are at the Kisumu Social Hall. We'll be back in a moment. All right, so we are still live at the Kisumu Social Center as we continue to fix the nation from various counties. Like we said, we started in Homa Bay, then Kisii, and then now we've come to Kisumu. We are having a conversation about devolution. This is all happening on the sidelines of the devolution conference, which will be concluding today. We are in conversation with residents of Kisumu County. We're also in conversation with leadership in Kisumu and trying to understand, is devolution being felt across sectors? Is it being felt? Are the budget lines working? How are residents feeling? And just before the break, we were talking about youth unemployment. There was a question that was asked about, is there a focus on ensuring that there are resources to put into small businesses so that young people can be empowered? Are there also any promises that can be made that a play which is being rehearsed for right now is going to be able to be secured? Is the arts going to be taken seriously? By the way, yesterday we found a rehearsal going on, so I'm going to ask Zufa in just a moment what all that is about as an artist. But before that, Mariam, I think, just speaking to the unemployment matter. Oh, by the way, we also still have Dr. Lesiampe here. We will still speak health matters. He's going to talk about that. He's going to hear from the residents. What are the health concerns they have? He's talked about the strategy, but is it being felt by residents? He'll respond to that. But yeah, just thinking through unemployment again being a commonality in various counties.
You're absolutely right. And we wanted to get some of the experiences, like I said, because we have heard from a trader, from a tout as well, and they've told us their experiences with work. But for a lot of young people, the struggle is in finding the work. So I wanted to get some experiences as well, then we can have the deputy governor speak to that. So to the audience, anyone in the audience, like I said, I asked who's unemployed. It was like, it's kind of basically all of us. Maybe tell us your struggles finding employment, and any wins if possible, or anything that gives you hope as far as looking for employment. But tell us just share your experience with us. Yeah.
The mic is coming and some of them are ducking.
Oh, here we go. There. Okay, so we have it over here.
Okay.
Jambo ni?
Hatujambo.
Mimi ni resident hapa wa Kisumu, kwa majina naitwa Bernard Uma. Mkaji wa Kisumu kwa muda kama zaidi ya 20 years. Lakini sana sana shida yenye tuko nayo nikiendelea upande wa county government, kama sisi wafanya biashara. Unajua unaanza biashara yako kidogo, tunajua shida ya Kenya sasa ni kasi hakuna. watoto wamemaliza shule nini, lakini hawapati kazi. Na hapa Kisumu ukianza hata biashara yako kidogo, kesho ikanjwa wanakufukuza vibaya sana, unakimbishwa. Ukijenga kitoli yako kidogo, kesho wanabomoa, baada ya kubomoa wajengi. Hiyo ndio vile wana behave. Tuko na shida na city county government nini, city manager. Kesho anakuja anakuambia muweke hapa, baadaye wanakuhamisha na penya, hakuna mahali unakupelekwa. Hiyo ni shida kubwa yenye iko Kisumu sana. Labda sehemu zingine hatuwezi kuongea, lakini Kisumu hiyo ndio shida sana sana sana. Wafanya biashara wanahangaishwa vibaya sana, na kazi ndio hiyo hakuna. Tena Kisumu hapa hakuna street lights, hakuna kabisa. Ikifika saa moja watu wanarudi kwa nyumba, unapata hapa ni maninja tu nabaki town. Na inafaa town ikuwe mahali watu wanatafanya 24/7. Hakuna Kisumu. Ikifika saa 3 ni maninja ndio ziko town. Hiyo ni shida kubwa ambayo iko Kisumu. Kesho tukirudi tu upande wa biashara, unapata kama tuseme ukienda Kibuye watu wanahamishwa huko, hakuna mahali wamepelekwa vizuri. Hapa street unapata ni clean kabisa, lakini hakuna pesa Kisumu, hakuna. Hiyo shida inatoka kulingana na county government vile manage watu. Wanafukuza watu huko na huko. Tukitoka hapo tunaenda upande wa else vile uliongea, tuko na sio wa mkubwa yako hapa. Hizo hospitali zetu ukiendea, unaingia hapo asubuhi saa 12 umeenda hospitali. Hata kama wewe ni mgonjwa aina gani, unakaa hapo hadi jioni. Ukienda tu lab unachukua 3 hours, hata hujapimwa nini. Baadaye utaenda kwa nini, anakuambia dawa pia kuoneka nunua nje. Shida ni nini?
Okay.
Hizi ndio vitu wakitatua vizuri, sasa hii mambo ya county government yatakuwa vizuri.
Asante sana. Thank you for giving us your views. And we'll speak to, yes, the county, what we're Kanjo, Kisumu ni Kanjo, but yes, basically to Kanjo. I just want to hear from any other person wanting to speak on their experiences, all right, and then we'll get now responses from the Deputy Governor and of course from the CEO of the Jaramogi Oginga Teaching and Referral Hospital, and even get clarification, because again sometimes we don't know which functions specifically in health belong to county government and which ones belong to national government.
Okay, my name is Omondi Daniel Omondi Odhiambo. I'm an artist based here in Mama Grace Onyango Social Center. My artistic name is Prince Danny.
Prince Nani?
Prince Danny.
Okay, well, Prince Danny.
Yes, I'm a writer. I write scripts for screenplay and both for stage play. And I'm based here. So I want to talk about the issue of unemployment. Well, it is an issue, but for an artist, we cannot just say that it is an issue, yes, but an artist is someone who employs himself. Let me talk in the perspective of an artist. This is someone that can employ himself or her or herself. Just what the artist need is to be empowered. Yeah, and as you heard from the manager of Mama Grace, a lot of things have been happening here because of the devolution. So yes, we can say devolution is really working, and we can say things and we appreciate that. What we are saying is we want it to work a lot so that the artists can be empowered, so that they can employ themselves, because they can. Now, what I want to say about Mama Grace Onyango Social Center, we appreciate that we have Mama Grace Onyango Social Center, but artists are so many in Kisumu. For us to be here, like right now, very early in the morning, we are here for rehearsals. That means that Mama Grace Onyango Social Center is a home to many artists. So if the artists of Kisumu should they're coming into Mama Grace, there are so many. Mama Grace can be filled in just an hour with artists in Kisumu. And these artists they're looking forward, or looking to the devolution, the county government, to help them, empower them, so that they can be employed.
Right. Maybe we need 10 more Mama Grace Onyango social centers.
Yeah.
Right?
Now that is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like right now we have Mama Grace Onyango. We have Ofafa there. Now I want to talk about, I want just to, not to compare. We have Ofafa, but to me, individually, I don't understand. I was there I asked, I was just asking for a space to rehearse. And I was asked, are you going to pay for it? But I'm an artist. Can you just give me somewhere, maybe outside? But no, that one can't happen. That is the response that I got. That one can't happen. You will need to talk to the leaders who are here.
Right.
But they are not here. Maybe you come, the leader here is sick, so you come next week. Now, I was looking at the environment. The hall was rebuilt. It was vanished. The stage there is well pimped for theater. It's good. But
not accessible.
Not accessible.
I hear you. Okay.
So
okay.
what I want to say is that we appreciate the county government for Mama Grace Onyango Social Center. Is that we need more. So that the deputy, you are here, Mr. Deputy. All we are saying is thank you for Mama Grace. And what we need is more than Mama Grace. You see, when a son or a child tells his father, "Father, I need a cloth for Christmas," it doesn't mean that the son or the child has no clothes.
Yes.
It's, "Father, we just need another cloth."
I think this would be a
That
good
is what we are saying.
to bring in the deputy governor.
Thank you.
Let's bring you to respond to this first few questions that have been asked before we continue to pass.
I've got quite a bit to respond to, Janet. Thank you very much for the opportunity. The first thing is that unemployment rate in our country is alarming, and you actually observe that our rates are probably more than the national average. I want to start by saying that is historical. It's not that it's not because we do not have the right skill set that can drive the economy both in Kisumu and elsewhere, but that is historical and it's for another day. Now, what are we doing as a county to be able to address those challenges? One is that we have this space for the creative economy. And we're talking about the creative economy not just in terms of performing arts, but also for the digital space. And someone talked about the Rotary. So we have an innovation hub there, okay? Both at the Rotary and also working with, Lake Hub, which is also an innovation center based at, in another space, okay, in Kisumu. So both performing arts, when they have this space, and other spaces, I take his sentiments very seriously about Ofafa and how they can have Ofafa also as an additional space for performing arts. Ofafa, by the way, is being run by the Luo Council of Elders. It's a cultural thing as well. But I think they can, Obat Masira, we can talk to them so that they can allow space, especially for those who want to perform there, to have their way, so that we can discuss.
And maybe many other smaller ones across the county. Because,
across the county.
Yeah.
No, we have them. I think, Kisumu is not just about the city. Yes. I think let's talk about, we have 35 wards. And in all those wards, we have resource centers with halls that are equipped so that, the young people can have that space for what they're doing. Now, we need to support these young people and the people of Kisumu generally in accessing funds for business. What we have realized is that sometimes if you just give money, they don't take it very seriously. So we have a new concept. We want to do what is called interest subsidy. We want to work with banks, okay, and allow them to get money from the bank, and we subsidize the interest that they get. That way, because if you go to get credit right now, they'll probably charge you 16%. We'd rather have an arrangement where you are charged 6%. Okay? Because counties cannot be, we don't want to take a role that is not ours. Yeah. Yeah, there is money for, okay, I'm coming there. Then you ask what support we are giving to artists in this county. Obat just talked about, a team that was sponsored by the governor to Tanzania, right? Yeah. And that is the exposure that artists need. Now, we have sponsored the Misango Art Ensemble to Accra, Ghana, right? For the, Festac. That's another exposure. The fact that we're giving you this space for free is another support that we're giving to artists. And then I was asked whether in your upcoming event, the county will support you. We will definitely support you, okay, in that endeavor. But we have also realized that not just in Kisumu alone, but the counties that have, the lake, and of course the coastal counties. We are now focusing on the blue economy. We want to harness the potential of the blue economy to create jobs for the young people, and that is what probably the Lake Region Economic Bloc is focusing on more than anything else. I talked earlier about the fish landing beaches. Yes. I've talked about, or maybe not, about development of modern fishing gear, and especially fiber glass boats, which the county actually is already purchasing for young people. The other thing is that we are training, by the way, 70 coxswains every year, and it is all sponsored. We give them full sponsorship at the Marine Training School. So that they can,
Mheshimiwa, not all of us are familiar with the lingo of the ocean. What's a coxswain?
A coxswain ni dere
wa nini wa boats. Huyo.
Dere. Yeah, and again giving capitation to young people to acquire skills at the Rotary and in 28 vocational training centers. Just last week, I think 2 days ago, the governor flagged off equipments to the 28 vocational training centers, so that the young people here can get the required skills that can enable them get into the economy, not just in Kisumu, also elsewhere. And we want to thank the national government, by the way, quickly in closing. This affordable housing thing, I think for me is a good thing. Like here we are doing Lumumba, we are doing Anderson, and we are doing Makasembo. And it's employing thousands and thousands of these young people, by the way. Okay? And some of them who have qualified as fundis, for example, if they're masons, electrical people, they get good money, I think.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
You wanted
the
to
health matters.
Yes,
the health matters.
I think a response to the health matters, and then I know Aisha also wanted to say something, but we'll go around again.
Yeah, thank you very much, Janet. Nimesikia kutoka kwa Bernard Kaundo. Amesema kwamba mambo ya health ama mambo ya matibabu ni shida kidogo. Na nafikiri ningependa tu kusema kwamba kwa wakati huu serikali
Do you mind standing so that we could see you?
Hello?
Yes. So that we can see you. Yes.
Yeah, asante sana Mariam. Nataka kujibu swali kutoka kwa Bernard Kaundo ambaye amesema kwamba mambo ya matibabu, unaenda hospitali unakaa kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni. Ingawa hajasema kama ni Jaramogi, lakini amesema tu hospitali. Ningependa tu kusema kwamba kwa wakati huu serikali imesaidia kwamba kwa primary healthcare ni kwamba unaweza enda hospitali yoyote kama umekuwa registered na SHA. So ukiwa registered na SHA na ni magonjwa yote uko naye, unaenda tu kwa level 3, level 2 ambayo iko karibu na wewe. Na kama umekuwa registered au utalipa chochote, unapatiwa matibabu na unaenda. Kile ambapo
Dr. Richard, sorry to interrupt. I've realized saa zingine communication inatusumbua as a nation. So people don't even know which one is a level 1, a level 2, a level who knows? Do you know the levels of hospitals? Okay. So maybe to start with educating us at the level.
Okay, sawa. Ingawa mimi sifanyi na SHA, lakini nataka kuongea kwa niaba ya SHA na kwa niaba ya serikali. Ni kwamba serikali imekuwa na mipango ya kusaidia vile wagonjwa ama wananchi wa Kenya wanapata matibabu. Kwa hivyo kwa wale magonjwa ndogo ambayo inaweza kutatuliwa katika dispensary zetu na health centers, hapo ndio tuko na level 2 na level 3 na hata mpaka level 4. Alafu kutoka level 5 na level 6 ni pale ambapo unaenda kwa yale magonjwa makubwa ama yale magonjwa ambayo yanataka utaalamu zaidi. Na hiyo ndio kwa mfano kama hapa Kisumu tuko na level 4 ambayo ni Kisumu County Referral Hospital ama KCRH, na alafu tuko na level 5 ilikuwa ni Jaramogi, sasa imekuwa level 6. Hiyo inakuwa ni wale ambao wako na utaalamu zaidi. Kwa hivyo kile ambayo inatakikana ni kwamba ni lazima kwanza uwe registered kwa SHA. Na uwe registered na ulipe kile pesa ambayo inatakikana. Na ikiwa ni hivyo, ukiwa kwa level 2, level 3, level 4, au utalipa chochote ukienda kwa matibabu. Na hiyo hospitali sio lazima iwe ni ya serikali. Najua wakati mwingine ni kwamba sisi tulikuwa tumezoea ni hospitali ya serikali tu tunaenda. Lakini sasa hospitali ambayo iko na SHA, hata kama ni ya kanisa, faith based, ama iwe ni private, unaenda ukiwa umekuwa registered na ulipi chochote kwa primary healthcare. Kile ambapo iko ni kwamba baada ya hapo unaenda kwa level 5 na level 6 ni specialized. Hapo ndio unatakikana pia wakati umelipa SHA unapata ile inaitwa approval. Kama ni operation, hiyo operation yako inakuwa approved. Na kwa wakati huu serikali imeamua ni kwamba tunatumia kidole, sio kwamba ile tulikuwa tunatumia simu kupata approval ya operation, kwa sababu ambao tunajua kwamba kulikuwa na sehemu zingine tulikuwa na udanganyifu hapa na pale. Kwa hivyo kila ambapo mara nyingi inatupatia shida ni kwamba unakuta mgonjwa wako na ugonjwa kama homa, pengine kuumwa na tumbo, lakini unasema kwa sababu ulikuwa unaendanga tu kwa Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital unakuja huko. Hapo unapata shida ni kwa sababu tuko na wagonjwa wengi kutoka sehemu tofauti tofauti ambao wako na shida mzito ambao tunatakiwa kuwatibu. Kwa hivyo unakuta wakati mwingine inakuwa hivyo. Lakini ningependa kusema kwamba tumejaribu kuhakikisha kwamba tuko nao na digitization ama automation ya systems. Kwamba sio kuandika kwa karatasi, ni kwamba mtu anakuja sasa unakuwa registered, ombi lako la kwenda lab ni kwamba inatumiwa mashini, unaenda tu huko, ukitolewa damu, hiyo result yako inatumwa na mashini kuelekea kwa daktari ili upate matibabu haraka. Kwa hivyo hiyo ndio njia ambayo tunajaribu kufanya. Kama kwa Jaramogi tunaomba ni kwamba wale tu wamekuwa referred, wale wako na magonjwa mzito ndio wakuje pale. Ama magonjwa mengine yatatuliwa katika ile level zingine, level 5, level 4 ama level 3. Lakini pia ningependa kusema kwamba
Kisumu pia kuna hapo level 1 ni wale community health promoters.
Community health promoters. Na Kisumu County imejaribu sana. Katika kila kijiji kuna community health promoters ambao wanasaidia. Kwa mfano nafikiri kila health promoter ako na familia 100 ambaye anasimamia. Anawasaidia kama ni mambo ya maternal health care, kama ni mambo ya magonjwa mengine, kama ni mambo ya public health, hao ndio wanashughulikia mambo kama haya. Na nasema kwamba Kisumu County imejaribu sana. Imeweka community health promoters karibu kila kijiji. Na hao wanahusika pia na mambo ya hospitali. Wanafanya, in fact one thing I can confirm is that they are like a hub. Every hospital has got a number of community health promoters who are actually supporting that facility. And that has actually worked very, very well for us. So I want to confirm that also Kisumu County government has done its best, particularly in primary health care. It has actually established, most of the facilities. It has managed to actually provide the provisions and commodities, those health facilities, so that they can sort out most of primary issues at the lower levels. And then referral now goes to Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital. So what I can assure, I think Kisumu residents and Kenyans is that through SHA, in fact, SHA has actually worked tremendously in Kisumu County. In fact, Kisumu County is among the top counties that with the largest number of registered SHA members. And those who have been operated, at KNH at JOTRH, for example, we have had cases of brain surgeries, we have had cases of spine surgeries, costing up to 300, 400,000. And those people have walked in, they have been treated and walked out without paying a penny. So one thing that I want to employ and request is to register for SHA and pay for SHA, and then you'll demand for those services. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's given such great perspective. Do we have a better understanding of how the hospitals work now? Tumelewa kidogo? Yes. Wait, but now mikono ni mengi. We're about to go on a break. Sorry, a burning question that you didn't answer. Okay, let the Deputy Governor answer the burning question.
Very quickly.
We'll take a short break. We're continuing in the next hour, don't worry. So just hold on to your thoughts. Conversation inaendelea. Sawa.
My brother was saying that if he builds a stall, anafukuzwa. And I just want to respond as follows, that we have agreed with the traders of Kisumu to do our business in designated areas. Kwa hivyo kama ni mambo ya biashara, we have markets that are already built. Okay, Jubilee, Kibuye, Uhuru, all that kind of thing. So you cannot just build a stall anywhere else, only in the designated areas. I think that's maybe the reason. But I also want to agree with them that there are sections of Kisumu that goes to sleep too early. And I think that's a concern to us as government. But it's also a function of security. Yes. Okay? But there are areas that, are thriving, 24-hour economy. Our dream actually is to have a 24-hour economy in Kisumu. And we have a very robust plan for it going into the future. And I think the other thing we need to do now is to migrate from the grid to solar, because sometimes power goes off. The grid is not very you're not certain of having power from the grid, but at least you're certain of having power from the solar. So if you look around right now, you'll see that we are trying to replace what we had with the grid to solar-powered street lighting. So that, of course, will be resolved as well. Thank you.
Yes, I think to Mariam's point, we're going to take a break. You'll also speak to, I think there's a lot of people asking about security, about sanitation and all of that. But we will come back. We'd want to hear from most of you here. I know there's a lot of questions, comments that you want to share, whether it's about employment, whether it's about the arts, and whether it's about the services that you feel as citizens you deserve, but perhaps are not getting. And of course, we'll continue in conversation with the Deputy Governor. It's coming up to 9 a.m. on Fixing the Nation. We are live in Kisumu. This is the last day of the Devolution Conference, so we're having these conversations on the sidelines of that to find out how devolution continues to work or not for residents of different counties. We'll be back after a short break and continue the conversation. Microground this morning in Kisumu.
Absolutely. But we're continuing with our microground. Tukodala, we're at home in Kisumu City, and of course we are discussing devolution. As Janet said, what we're trying to figure out what is working, how can we make it better, how can we improve what's already working, and the things that are a pain point for the people of Kisumu, what are they and how do we fix them? Our conversation has been very interactive so far, and of course we are joined by residents of Kisumu. We're of course joined with by the CEO of the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital and the Deputy Governor for Kisumu. All of that means that we're having a consultation, an actual conversation, one at a time. And I know there's a couple of people who wanted to speak, Jano, as to devolution and how it works for them. Behind me, there's a gentleman who's been holding his thoughts for quite a while. We can pass the microphone on to him. He'll speak. I know there's another gentleman there. And then we can hear from Zaha.
Yeah, from Aisha.
From Aisha.
But you also said it's Zulfa.
And then
Zulfa, Aisha, both names,
Aisha,
right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we'll hear from the Deputy Governor. But let's begin with the gentleman behind me.
Asante sana.
Tafadhali simama. Yes.
Asante. Kwa majina naitwa Willy Otienda. Mimi ni mkazi wa Kisumu County. My ward ni Manyata B ward. Na naongea kama community organizer kwa sababu mimi kazi yangu yenye nafanyanga ni kuorganize communities so that we meet hizi shida zenye tunaface kama community. Generally nataka kuongea, nilikuwa nikuja hapa mapema but mimi ni I'm a West speaker as well. So nilikuwa nimerauka kucollect West kidogo but nilikuwa na follow conversation na phone, hata nonda nimekimbia nikasema nifike. Nimesikia venye Deputy Governor ameongea na nimesikia venye daktari ameongea. Na sitaki kudiscredit vitu amesema, lakini mimi nataka tu nipatiane honest opinion from the ground so that tupate solution. Kwa sababu wanasemanga ndio tupate solution lazima naanzaga na kuongea ukweli. Mimi nataka kusema nadhani the sole principle ya devolution ilikuwa ku bring power closer to the people. Service delivery ifike wananchi pale chini. Mimi nataka kuongelelea ghetto kwa sababu mimi natoka Manyata na nataka kuongelelea zile marginalized communities. Manyata, Nyalenda, Obunga, Kondele, hao ni wase sasa wenye wanatoka ghetto. Mimi sitaki kuongelelea wale watu walifi suburbs. Nataka kusema devolution sisi kama wananchi wenye wanatoka pale kwa ghetto hajatusave kusema ukweli. Tukianza hata na issue za mambo na waste management. Ukiwa na hapa tao yenye utadhani Kisumu ndio the cleanest city in Kenya. Ukitembea tao na ni safi. Lakini tukitoka tu hapa hivi tuingie sasa hapa hivi ghetto Manyata. Hata jana ndo nimekuwa Manyata pale kwa soko ya Manyata. Ukiangalia nimekuwa nikimia na huwa na posta hata karibu kila mara. Ukiangalia the waste management pale iko very much poor. Kulikuwa na skip ingine lile tuanga hapo na county government walileta hapo na city manager iliyeko pale kwa katikati ya soko. Hiyo skip ilija kitambo hadi wa leo. Ukienda hadi bado pale sisi tumekuwa tukiuliza wanatuambia ati sijui gari ya county fulani ilikuwa imeharibika. So hadi bado wako wamepata gari ya kuja kufanya hizo collection. Manyata pale na pale ndo wanauza hadi mboga, wanauza kila kitu. Iko pathetic na iko katikati ya soko. Mbaya sana. Ukiangalia bado issue ya mambo na water and sanitation. Manyata biko place fulani penye it's poorly drained. Iko ni clay soil. So unapataga kukinyesha na sisi kama wase wa Manyata kitu watu tunalilia na daily basis inakoga mambo na flood. Pale hivyo tunakuaga na river moja inaitwa River Uji yenye inatusaidia kutoa maji kwa community kipeleka maji sipadi Lake Victoria. Ukiangalia hata sasa situation ya hiyo river hapo ndio imegeuzwa imekuwa dump site tukienda hapo. Na huwa anapiga kelele kila siku. Hadi siku hizi mimi amejua mimi ule mtu akupiga kelele. Naambiaga tu that situation ya Uji haiko sawa. Ukienda pale sasa pale ndo watu wanatupa pampa and by the way pampa mene sasa imekuwa ni noma. Pale ndo penye watu wanarusha pale vitu. Daktari nimesikia ukiongelelea mambo na health care ni kama ina work sana. Nataka kukuambia Jumini West Speaker na watu na organize clean up hapo River Uji. Hapo River Uji pale kando ya Kuoyo kuna Kuoyo Health Facility kwa hapo kando. Ukitembea hapo hata the last clean up tulifanya, tulipata medicinal waste kibao sana. Tulipata nadi na masindano, tulipata na hizo vitu zote. Na nilikuwa na feel kama ni health Kenya ina work. Sasa tunafaa tunakuwa na vitu kama waste incinerators zenye zinasaidia kuchoma hata kama kuandolizo medicinal waste. Kwa sababu sisi kama vijana wa ghetto pale hata vitu tunatumianga, hatuna hata equipments za kuhandle waste. Tumejitolea tu kama vijana na tumesema that ghetto pia lazima ipate transformation. Ghetto lazima tulikuwa tumesema sisi kama watu wa ghetto, sasa tumechoka kulilia serikali. Tukipiga simu tunaambiwa gari bado hakuna. Sio tumejitolea, tunafanya wenyewe. Na ukiangalia hata condition yenye sisi tunakoga subjected kama communities ni zile conditions pathetic. Ukiangalia issue kama hizo nini, wananchi wako pale wanasafa. Kuna watu wengine hata wanadungwa na hizo mashindano. Nikiongelelea mambo na insecurity, bado ni noma. Hata jana mimi natoka pale Gesoko pale. Kuna juzi last week, kuna watu wawili walinyang'anywa pikipiki. Kwa sababu hiyo njia inatengenezwa na KISIP, lakini kwa KISIP kulikuwa na water kwa community. Kulikuwa na kutengeneza hiyo barabara na drainage. Kitu tu imetengenezwa na KISIP ilikuwa hiyo barabara. Bado hajaweka lights. Watu wanaibiwa bado pale sana. Tukiongelelea issue nyingine tena inatumiza kama wase wa Kisumu, kuna voices zinakuwa suppressed. Tukitaka kujitokeza kama wananchi na tuseme that issue za healthcare haiko sawa. Kwa sababu hata nikikwambia hata mimi mwenyewe wakati ile tuliendaga finance bill ile protest, nilikuwa among the people wenye walijitokeza na kuweza kupigania nchi. Kusema that finance bill haiko na work na vitu hazikuwa sawa. Mimi niliatakiwa na mapolisi. Nilipigwa nikaumizwa vibaya sana. Nilipelekwa hadi kotini bila hata charge sheet. Na nimekuwa nimelala kwa polisi hapo hivyo siku 24 hours, nimepigwa body mzima. Kwenda kwa koti hakukuwa hata na charge sheet kwa sababu hiyo ndio kitu inaweza tumika kuniprosecute. Nilipelekwa pale hadi saizi bado naumia. Nimejaribu kwenda hata pale Russia kwa sababu mimi nataka nifanywe hata scan hapa hivi kwa mgongo. Nasikia nadiuma vibaya sana. Nilienda pale hivyo, bado nikifika casualty naambiwa nilipie 200. Mimi sina hata yodo ya kulipa 200 ndo nihudumiwe. I work mimi nikisema hivyo. Bado wanatuambia ati lazima wananchi lazima uko na SHA uko na nini, lakini bado ukienda pale wale watu wenye walikuwa na register SHA na simu, ukienda pale bado jina yako haiko. Mimi ninajaribu kuregister kwa SHA. Namalizia tu kidogo. Nataka niongelelea employment kwa sababu article 55 of the Constitution of Kenya inaongelelea mambo na youth na mambo na employment. Vijana tukiongea hapa ukweli, tumemaliza shule. Mimi nilisoma kitambo, nilimaliza hata sikumaliza actually nilidifa, nilikuwa Masinde Muliro. Nilidifa kwa sababu sikuwa naweza commit fee. Sasa hizi tumekuja hapa hivi kwa community hadi hiyo time from 22 hadi sasa hizi. Kuna wazazi wenyewe wanatutegemea pale home. Sisi ndio tumekuwa ni kama mabreadwinner. Sisi wenyewe hatuna kazi. Kitu inafanyika kwa hiyo ni vijana wanazidi kutumia madawa. Tukisema hapa Kisumu ati kiko sawa, iko sawa. Vijana wana abuse drugs, vijana wameingia kwa criminal behavior kwa sababu county government haitaki kusupport vijana. Mimi kitu nataka kusema devolution ilileta ni that ili devolve corruption. Ukienda pale zile pesa zenye zinafaa zitu facilitate. Kulikuwa na the last financial year kuna barabara fulani inaitwa Oduk Matech Road inapita hapo Gesoko ndani. Iliallocatiwa 3.7 million ifanyike. Contractor alikuja na hata venye alikuja kuengage community kwa public participation kwa sababu ni kwa public participation ndo tunaweza elect ma PMC wenye wanafanya oversight ya barabara. Waliingia tu hivyo sisi tukaona wameanza kuimplement waneka culvert. Tuliweza kuwatoka kama community na tukasema lazima public participation ifanyike ndio barabara itengenezwe. Walikuja kufanya public participation. Kitu walifanya juu tuliweka pressure, hiyo barabara ilifanyika nusu. Culvert tulikuwa tunaambia ilikuwa inafaa yoke culvert 5. Waliweka 2, moja ile kwa kanisa SDA na nyingine ile kwa juu pale ukitoka nje ya nini ya Gesoko. Huyo contractor anataka kulipwa. Nilikuwa nimesikia mambo na pending bills vitu kama hizo. Haizi lipwa na kuna kazi yenye alikuwa amepata. So for me na nikiongelea na nikirepresent vijana. Devolution I serve interest ya vijana. Devolution imekuja tu kuservice interest ya minority yenye kwa hii community. Wale watu wenye wako close to power, wale wenye wanaweza piga simu pale kwa ofisi na sauti yako inasikizwa. Lakini watu kama sisi wenye wanatoka kwa the marginalized communities, wanawake wanazidi kukufa pale daily kwa sababu barabara ni mbaya. Najua kuna zile highways zenye ni national government, but kuna zile barabara yenye county ndio inafaa itengeneze. Ukitembea pale hizo barabara zote zile pathetic wakati mvua inanyesha.
Asante tupe watu
kama tunataka kusaidiana na malizia. Kama tunataka kusaidiana. County government sasa penye imefika. Hebu tuingie ni kwa grassroots pale. Tufike kwa community na tuweze kusikia issues zenye vijana wana raise. Tuweze kusikia issues zenye community wana raise. Kuna kwa na pesa inafaa facilitate traders. Haifikii wale wanawake wa community. Watu inafikia ni watu wa few people wenye wanajulikana pale. ifike kwa community na tunaweza shukuru, but before then kutakuwa na decent voices, vijana watazidi kuagitate kwa sababu sisi penye imefika tunaumia. Njaa, kuna watu wanalala daily. Housing hizi nyumba
za watu wengine sasa, tafadhali wacha tusikize watu wengine. There's a gentleman at the back who wanted to speak as well, but tumekusikia and I can see the deputy governor and the CEO have written down, hata mimi nimeandika hizo maswali zote, tutazipitia one by one because your concerns are very valid, but pia tupatiane chance ya kuongea. Alafu pia ukimaliza there's a man behind you amekuwa akitaka hiyo microphone.
Na tuombe nafasi please, watu waongee. If you can just keep your points as brief as possible. We understand it's so important. We want to hear from as many of you. Sawa, I understand.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Paul Juma. Okay. Mimi nataka kuongelea mambo matatu haraka haraka. Sisi kama wasanii tunataka access to these offices za county kwa sababu mimi nataka kuongelea ile department niko. Mimi kama msanii wa theater, kuna time nilienda kwa ofisi ya director of county education, something like that. Nikaambiwa kama ni story na setbook hii hatuwezi. Okay, tuna plan kumaliza aje story na unemployment kama siwezi patiwa access kuongea na umse. Niongee naye nione ni aje naweza pata hiyo certificate ya kunipatia opportunity ya kwenda kuperform kwa hizo shule. Kama hii ndio source of income yangu kama msanii. Pia county inafanya nini kuensure wasanii wanapata kazi kwa zile allocations za watu wanakuwa employed? Kuna mahali tu mmeset aside, like mnasema hapa tuachie wasanii, hapa tuachie watu wengine. I think from that tutapata inclusivity. Kuna watu wengi wamesoma, wasanii wengi wamesoma, but juu sasa ukifika mahali unasema wewe ni msanii, unasema msanii hawezi fanya anything, huyo ni joker. So unaona tunanyimwa job because wewe ni msanii. I think tunafaa kuangalia hiyo area, alafu mambo itakuwa sawa. Alafu tunaangalia ni aje Kisumu bado hatuja appreciate theater sana, yani art sana. Unapata tunaongelea tu mambo na modeling, hizo cultural activity like maybe hizo wrestling, but acting specifically, mimi ni actor, siwezi ongelea mambo ingine nisijui. Mimi ni actor, nataka kutengeneza performance, like for example Talents Theatre, juna represent Talents Theatre Kenya in conjunction with the county fiesta, that is KCC. Pia tuko na event, county inatusupport aje. Hakuna jobs, that's why unapata tumeweka tickets hadi 150. Hakuna job, hakuna place msee atapata do. County watatusaidia aje at least to get audience. Wanaweza kutusaidia hata kupata venue, kusecure venue, juu hapo ndinakuwa noma. Wanaweza come through hata kuleta refreshments pia, watu wenye wanakam ndio waanze ku appreciate art. Lazima kuna kitu lazima ufanye. Thank you.
Asante. And I think the deputy governor had spoken to a lot of the questions you've asked, but kama kuna gap bado atajibu. Let's hear from the gentleman at the back, and then now we can hear from Zulfa
and the Buddha.
And the Buddha.
I know you're taking a lot of notes. We appreciate that, but yes, I think because Zulfa had said and the Buddha Association. But yes, carry on.
Yeah, ndaongea lakini za zingine tu watu wako appreciate. Hapo nyuma ungeangalia Kisumu. Ilikuwa hii nini? Hii inaitwa Pari na Kijaluo.
Pari na maanisha nini?
Jamvi. Na pale kwa stage walikuwa na kunyia pale ndani. Kusema ukweli, mimi sitaki kuegemea upande yote. Profesa amejaribu sana. Hata sasa ukitembea Kisumu unaweza jivunia. At least inaleta, inakaa town kidogo. Hapo nyuma ukiangalia mimi haungejivunia. Kwa stage pale pako watu na kunyia pale ndani. Kwa hivyo mimi nimeshukuru sana. Na mimi nimeshukuru tena sha. Mimi nimejivunia. Nilikuwa na Tibiwa district, ili enjoy kidogo nikaenda Star.
Ukaenda wapi?
Star.
Okay.
Hapo najivunia sana. Sasa Kenya najaribu kusema tena. Ujue kuna mazuri tena kuna mabaya kidogo. Nilikuwa naomba
tuangalie side zote. Kwa
county government. Sisi wenye tumejiriwa kama watu wa private, tunaumia sana. Unafanya pale ndani, unapata salary yako kufanya nini au pati. Kama mimi nilijiriwa mwezi wa pili. Mpaka mwezi wa 7 niliamua wacha niwache kazi, sikupata pesa zangu. Unapata pesa inatolewa na wenye wako chini wanafanya nini? Wanakanyagia. Sasa mimi nilikuwa naomba deputy amekaa hapa na profesa waangalie kabisa. Watu wa private tunaumia wenye tumeajiriwa hapa. Unaweza unafanya kazi, unafanya miezi 6 haupati mishahara. Sasa mimi nilikuwa naomba waangalie kabisa. Tupate haki yetu kama watu chini.
Tumekupata.
Lakini mimi siwezi laumu pande zote kabisa. Nimeappreciate.
Umeappreciate.
Yeah.
Asante for giving us that perspective as well. Wacha tupatie Zulfa tafadhali.
Tutarudi tu kwako.
We'll be right back. We'll come back to you. We just want to hear from Zulfa and from the chair of the Boda Boda Association, and then after that we'll hear from the deputy governor and from the CEO of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral. Then we'll open up the rounds again. But I'll also ask you guys to be brief because yes, mambo ni mengi na muda ni mfupi.
Okay, thank you. My name is Zulfa Abdul, lakini my artistic name is Aisha. Mimi nataka kuongelea tu kuhusu unemployment, though kila mtu amesema hapa. But sasa unaona sisi, mimi bado nasoma Kisumu National Polytechnic hapa. Na every year, every university, college, polytechnic, hizi TVET, watu wana graduate, but there is no job. So kama government inaweza kutusaidia tupate job. Juu hakuna haja, okay. Si kila mzazi yako na connection ya kusaidia mtoto wake apate job kwa place fulani. So atusaidie tu tupate job. Okay. Points zangu zote zimeenda juu kila mtu amesema.
Ulikuwa usome alafu sasa watu wengine wamesema.
Yeah.
Okay, asante.
I know that we have the chair of the Boda Boda Association.
Yes.
We get his views as well on devolution and how it's working for the businessmen and the Boda Boda operators of Kisumu.
Asante sana. Good morning everyone. Kwa majina mimi naitwa Shaban Nyanjo. Currently mimi ni secretary wa Boda Boda Market Bilimani Ward. Actually, Boda Boda Association is a devolved association. Tuko na ofisi yetu ya Kisumu County. Okay, tuko na national office, tuko na Kisumu County office, and the 35 wards we have the offices na hizo wards. So mali tuko Market Bilimani Ward, na I'm the current secretary for Market Bilimani Ward Boda Boda. Tuko na sako inajiita Kitobako sako. Lakini devolution kwa upande yetu ya Boda Boda, kwanza tuko kwa Boda Boda because hakuna kazi, and hiyo ni ukweli. Tungekuwa na kazi wengine na tungekuwa kwa Boda Boda because wengi wetu wengi tumesoma. Chenye naweza sema kwa devolution venye imesaidia ama haijasaidia Boda Boda, county government ndio inafaa isaidie Boda Boda ya within the ward ama within the county. Our county government to engage kwa chochote ambacho kinafanyika kwa department ya Boda Boda. So hapo tunasema county government has failed. Mambo ya pili ni security. Sisi watu ya Boda Boda tunapigwa ngeta usiku na mchana. Usiku tuwezi kimbia, pengine unapeleka mteja mahali pa shilingi 200, inabidi unachukua mwenzako pia aenda achukue 100, wewe uchukue 100 because of insecurity. Na insecurity kisha kuja tu juu hivi kidogo, serikali ya county ama polisi wanasema watu wa Boda Boda ndio wameleta hiyo insecurity. Na hii mambo ya insecurity sisi ndio tunasaidia hata polisi, because hakuna wakati wote usiku uwezi kosa mtu wa Boda Boda kwa kila kona. So sisi ndio inafaa watu engage, tushikamane nao kusudi to curb insecurity kwa kila kona. Na sisi county government na polisi hawatuheshimu. Kwa mambo ya funds, kuna funds yenye inakuja kwa magroups, funds inakuja kwa through cooperatives. Tuko na ofisi yetu ya county cooperative office, haijawahi kutusaidia. Tuko na sako, haijawahi kututambua kama Boda Boda sako, hatujawahi pata hata shilingi moja. Tumejaribu
kufika kwa hizo maoffices. Tumewekewa masharti mingi, lazima tutimize, lakini sisi kama wanabodaboda hatuwezi. Tunataka hizi pesa pia sisi tupate, ndio tusikie uzuri wa devolution. Kama hiyo haitafanyika, sisi hatuoni uzuri ya devolution. Jambo la mwisho kabisa, county government tunasema huwa wanataka tulipe ushuru, lakini sisi hatuwezi lipa hiyo ushuru. Manake utalipaje ushuru mali hata hakuna shed, wewe hujapewa shed, hakuna service yoyote yenye county government inakupatia, na wanataka tulipe ushuru. Sisi kama wanabodaboda wa Kisumu, unless hii serikali ya Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o sasa inamaliza miaka yake ya 10 na deputy governor kwa hapa, kama ameshawahi kutana na wanabodaboda kiwango ya ofisi yake ama governor, tumeandika mabarua kama bodaboda tukutane na governor, tumwambie shida zetu, governor tutambui. Sasa sijui devolution ilikuja yenye inabagua wanabodaboda ama inatambua wanabodaboda.
Okay.
So tunasema hivi, shida yenye inafaa itatuliwa ni tukue engaged. Okay. Tusikie vitu yenye inatoka kwa national government kusudi hiyo devolution ifikie wanabodaboda. Asante.
Kabla tuendelee, let's get responses from the deputy governor. Hold on just 1 second.
Yes.
You can't grab the microphone,
yes.
sir. We have to hear from the deputy governor and of course from the CEO of the Jaramogi Oginga Teaching and Referral Hospital on matters, everything that has been asked. I know it's a long list, but he was taking notes, thankfully, and so was I. So let's begin with Dr. Matthew.
You have a mic for?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So thank you. I want to start by acknowledging the very passionate contribution of Willie Otiende of Manyatta B. He describes himself as a community organizer, a waste picker, and you can already see he's also an advocate for young people. And I think I want to thank him because he's brought out matters that are very pertinent, not just for Kisumu, but for our country. But just to start us off with some of his concerns, he was talking about, solid waste management, which is still a very big issue, by the way. Yesterday and the other day at the DevCon, we were talking about solid waste management. One of our, I think platinum sponsors is a company that is in that space, of course, based in Ghana, but they're hoping that they can help county government sort out the issue of solid waste. Now, what Governor Nyong'o has done, in the space of solid waste management is huge. By the way, there used to be the main dumping site was actually within the city center. Yeah, it was called Kachok. It was basically decommissioned. I think that's one thing that we must give to the governor because he delivered it. Now we have a new waste material recovery center in Moroni sub-county, some place called Kasese. And what we are doing for the county, not just for the city, and I want my brother there to hear, is that we are encouraging each and every sub-county to see how they can organize themselves and manage their solid waste. But what we have done is to also invest in those sub-counties in what we call a material recovery center. So instead of them, taking the waste all the way to Kasese, some of them will be sorted there. So we only take there what cannot be probably recycled or something like that. Okay, and I want to encourage our people. You see, it cannot be a function of government only. Like he rightly observes that if you go to a river called Auji, you will find there what he's calling pampas. You get? So there needs to be what we call community sensitization. That a river is not where you go dispose your pampas. I mean, the government cannot go and wait there, waiting for people to come and... So the community needs to know that they don't need to pollute the rivers because the river will definitely eventually, drain into Lake Victoria. So this
Before we move on, Deputy Governor, yes. I think his point was more so that within Kisumu city, and even my mom, when I told her I'm coming to Kisumu, she's like, it's such a clean city. I love it. I enjoy. But he's saying in the poorer areas of Kisumu, that's where we don't see the cleanliness, especially now from the county. So it's like, while we do need to take accountability for ourselves, I think it's a lot easier for people to do that when they are enabled. For example, if there's a dustbin right across the road from me, it's very easy for me to hold on to my dirt and go through it there. But if I think of the nearest, perhaps, waste disposal facility or dustbin or anything like that as being far from me, then it gets very easy for especially poorer areas to remain dirty over time, and it feels like a marginalization.
We have a material recovery center at Kondele, which is very close to Manyata, by the way, where of course we have skips all over. I am sorry on behalf of government that there's a skip that has not been evacuated, for some time, and I want to believe in what he's saying. So from here, of course, I talk to the relevant team to go and evacuate the skip. So this is the way it works. In the sub-counties, you'll have areas where you have the skips, so that once you have your waste, you take it to the skip. Then we as the county should come and get that material from the skip now to either directly to the other side or to the material recovery center within the sub-county. Because what we are saying is that we want to encourage sorting of waste at source. If you can pick out the bottles at source, you can pick out the metals at source. There's no need of taking them there, because there you have, that kind of. That's what we're trying to encourage. Now, I think what is important, my brother, is that we are not saying we are there. We are not yet there, okay? But, this is something that you're saying, fixing it, one conversation at a time. Even for us in the county, one function at a time. But I think he's been very candid about what we must do right in that space. He's talked about medicinal waste. I think I would allow my CEO to handle that. I think we have a very good way of dealing with that as well. But also the road that is being implemented by KISIP and the surrounding infrastructure that they were supposed to make. I want to assure you that we will not pay this guy until he completes all that he's supposed to do, not just the road, the lighting and everything that goes with it. Now, we have not suppressed anybody's voice, at least not in Kisumu. The professor here, Governor Professor Peter Nyang', was actually in detention fighting for that space that we all now enjoy. So I don't know whether Kisumu is that space that will suppress the voice, especially the young people. But I think as a country, we need to listen to these young people. I think that because of the youth unemployment, because of the youth burden, because of lack of space, they have brought their discussions to the table. And even in the devolution conference that is concluding today, there was a youth component of the DevCon conversations. I think it is time that we listen to the youth.
It's one of the pillars, social justice.
Yes. And then Paulo Juma is talking about access to our offices. And I think he's saying that he has had an issue. I operate an open door policy, and I think NTV can confirm that. I was in Homa Bay. I got to hear about this engagement last evening, and I was able to make time, because that's the reason why I was elected. I have to be here to accountability, on behalf of the government, because the people are here and they want to know what is going on. And if there's any office that closed their door for you, I would like to know before I leave, because that is not our policy. Our policy is that of open door, and And for the young people, I want you to know that the creative economy is also big. Okay, the creative economy is also big. So the only thing that the county needs to do, and the national government, is give you space to exploit the potential that exists within the creative economy. If you think about football, for example, we've just been talking about Harambee Stars here, and by the way, some of those guys who are playing there used to play here. Okay, now they are millionaires. The only reason why Harambee Stars is going to win this thing, and that's one thing about motivation, especially if the other vitamin, you have the vitamin money. You see what I mean? Yeah, so those guys are playing millionaires. Yeah? Every time our team goes in, their millionaires are playing there. And, these people are making big money. So the creative space, if you think about Peter Nyong'o, for example, performing arts from Kisumu, okay, plying her trade, elsewhere. So that space is what we want to create for young people. But we also don't want to look at them in isolation. So we talk about inter-subsidy. It should really be for everyone. So if you have a team and you are organized and you want somebody to do something, it's the same thing that we'll give them, is the same way we'll treat the boda, for example. Now, the border are saying that we have not given them attention. I must say here that I have met borders, okay? Even the ones from Milimani, I think they have been to my office, we've talked. Your county team have been to our office, we've talked. But I want us to look at this thing differently. And this is for the people of Kisumu. What do governments do? I mean, why do governments exist? And I'm happy to inform you that my agriculture minister is already here, so he'll be helping us tackle some of these questions. You see, for you in border, if we fix security, that is what the government needs to do for you. If we do roads, that is what the government needs to do for you. If we give your kids bursaries and scholarships where that lacks, that's what the government needs to do for you. If we fix the hospitals so that if you have a problem, you go to the hospitals to get help, that is what we need to do for you. Yeah. If we produce sufficient food so that our markets are full, that's what we need to do for you. If we give you money for business, okay, if we give you that, what I'm calling that interest subsidy, that's what we need to do for you. So there's so much that the government is doing for many sectors, but they're not seeing it.
Well, one of them mentioned they're seeing it. I know we're going to go to Dr. Lesiampe, and we appreciate you might have to transition shortly, but I think over and above being accessible, our community mobilize also seemed to have some good ideas. So it's about integrating maybe ideas because it's a lived experience. But yes, and then we also have, as you mentioned, Kenneth Onyango, who's the CEC Minister of Agriculture. We also have the Chair of Bunge la Wananchi, both of whom we need to hear from briefly. But first, let's speak to Dr. Lesiampe about the medical waste. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me respond to the issue raised by Willie Otiende, the issue of medical waste. That's actually hazardous waste. And I can confirm that our health professionals in all our health facilities are being trained on how to segregate waste. And they do it very, very well professionally. And we have an incinerator, a major incinerator, a very big incinerator and a shredder at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital, where all these waste are collected and actually they are shredded in a professional manner. The only thing that I would like to say is that we also have other private facilities, small clinics, private ones. Sometimes, no one actually, can manage to know what exactly they are doing with that. So I want to call upon Otiende. We have got community health promoters and you guys on the ground. Identify those health facilities which are actually, placing this waste in a bad manner. Those ones who are not actually doing it in a professional manner, and then involve the relevant authorities and will actually act on it. The second issue you raised that na ulisema kwa lugha ya Kiswahili na wacha nikujibu tu. Ulisema kwamba ulikuwa unataka CT scan na hujapatiwa. Ningependa kusema kwamba pole sana kwa kuumia na kuwa mgonjwa. Hakuna mgonjwa yote ambayo katika Jaramogi ama katika hospitali yote tunarudishanga kwa sababu ya kuwa mgonjwa. Tunawasaidia sana, si kwa sababu ya pesa peke yake. Lakini kitu ya muhimu ni kwamba sijui wewe ulijuaje unataka CT scan. Najua ingekuwa ni mzuri watu waangaliwe, pengine ni x-ray unatakikana kufanya, pengine ni kufanywa observation fulani. Na mimi nataka kusema hapa hivi kwamba saa hizi tukimaliza hapa mimi nitakupeleka tuende Jaramogi, upimwe, ufanyiwe kila kitu, ijulikane uko na shida gani. Asante sana.
Before Ukai, I'm thinking of it from a structural perspective, because Willie is one person, but kuna watu wengi pia hawajui how to get these, and they might not have access to Dr. Lesiampe. So I'm thinking through, and he said, you know what, wameniuliza hiyo 200 for the scan, I don't have the money, which is the case for a lot of people who can't contribute to SHA as well, but they still need medical health care. Just tell the people of Kisumu, of the country in general, how to access medical care without the monies.
What I can say, Marian, is that we are requesting Kenyans to register with SHA. And there is a mean testing that is done, to establish how much you need to contribute on a yearly basis. Those who are at the lower levels, for example, majority of them are contributing almost, I think, about 3,000 shillings, 3,600 shillings annually. And they get free treatment. They get free facilities in our hospitals. So registration for SHA is actually paramount. Now, we are also identifying those who are indigents, who cannot afford to do that. And I think there is His Excellency the Governor of Kisumu, as Professor Nyang Nyongo, and also Honorable CS Duale. I've agreed that we actually establish those numbers, we establish those individuals, and the county government of Kisumu will support others, and the national government will support others. Because we are saying that all Kenyans should access to medical care, they should access to medical treatment. And therefore, what I want to say is this, that we are going to identify those even at Jaramogi and even any other health facility, and then those names now are forwarded to the county government and also national government for as indigents to be supported. But however, for any emergencies, we have always treated them, and we have a waiver system, to allow those people to go home without necessarily paying. Yeah. But what we are encouraging here, and I want to encourage Otiende and all the youths of Kenya, those who can afford, please register, be a member of SHA, and you will get all these medications and health, matters free of charge. Thank you very much.
Thank you for speaking to that.
Thank you. I guess, Mariam, just quickly, because I know there's so many hands, especially on your side, if we just allow a comment from the Kenneth Onyango, who's the CEC Minister Agriculture, and also Bunge la Wananchi. And again, just encouraging everybody to keep your thoughts brief. Just introduce yourself so that we know who you are.
Thank you so much. My name is Kenneth Onyango, the CEC member for Agriculture, Livestock, Irrigation, Fisheries and the Blue Economy. I want to say that as a country, we have really made quite phenomenal strides in ensuring that food security is guaranteed in our county. Because, as you may remember, that was one of the most integral parts of the governor's manifesto. And as a department, we have made quite some significant contributions. For example, when His Excellency the Governor came in, we found that we didn't have extension staff, so that one extension officer could cover about 7,000 farmers. So that made it very difficult really to transfer knowledge to our farmers. So we did embark on employment, and we employed 150 staff in different categories, in fisheries, in agriculture, in livestock and veterinary services. And right now, we have really improved access to extension services. Besides that, we did also employ agripreneurs, 7 per ward. And these agripreneurs are actually augmenting the work that is being done by our extension staff. And the result of that is that we have seen quite improved agronomical practices. And I want to assure you, for example, this year, Kisumu County really registered quite a bumper harvest in maize and other cereals. We have also tried to improve our community irrigation schemes, like those that are in the rice growing areas, and that has also seen quite a significant increase in the acreage of land that is under rice production.
Okay, thank you.
As you may be aware, we have been tasked as a county to ensure that rice becomes one of those very important food crops that we must produce, so that we help to reduce on importation. And we are doing that because when you look at our statistics, the number of metric tons of rice that are now being produced in Kisumu has grown significantly.
Thank you. Please, thank you so much. We just want to make sure a lot of people have a chance to speak. A quick comment from Bunge la Wananchi Chair, if you can just hand me that, and then we're going to hand it back to the side where Mariam is to get some comments. Asante.
Thank you very much, NTV. You have done a wonderful job today. You have made us actually to give out our feelings. and what should be done. Me, I'm Samira by name. If you want to add another one is Ali. I'm from Bunge la Wananchi. I'm chairman. In fact, I wanted to give my view that devolution ililetwa angalau watu wa hear good. People should hear good whenever that count falls. Lakini kwa saa hii, you are trying as you are saying, but it was not brought to be tried. It was brought to be done. We want to see done, not trying, not improving. You should actually do it. It was brought to actualize things on the ground. So maneno ya improving suji nini. Yo bado napata D2. Na tunataka kutoke kwa D improve kwenda kwa B+.
Yeah.
Kwenda juu. Such that watu lengo yenye devolution ifanyike. 2, corruption bado inaumeza kila county. Kenya ingekuwa very far na hii pesa ingekuwa mtu analia kwa maana corruption ikisawekwa kabisa nje, pesa itaingia wapi? Kwa mfuko. Lakini kama bado iko, meaning pesa itabaki kwa watu wachache na hii kitu letwa kwa watu wengi. Kwa hivyo stop corruption completely in any form.
Yeah.
May God bless you so much.
Thank you so much. There's a gentleman in yellow over here. Who's been wanting to say something. Tafadhali alafu pia hapa nyuma. Yes. Na nimewapata. I'm trying to remember everyone whose hand was up, and it's important to also note that Kenneth Onyango, who is the CEC for Agriculture, is replacing the deputy governor who had to rush. We kept him as long as we could, but he needed to be somewhere at actually 8 a.m. But we do appreciate that he stayed and tried to answer as many questions as he did, and the CEC will be replacing him. But please go ahead, sir.
Hello, kwa majina ni Kea Victor, and these are my contributions. Jambo la kwanza, nashukuru kwa nyinyi kuleta hii hapa watu watoe views. But hata watu watoe views gani mzuri, if you not put it into consideration, itakuwa ni kazi bure. Kwa hivyo the views that we are going to give here, let them be actualized. View yangu ya kwanza goes to the CS Agriculture. Kisumu hapa amesema wamejaribu kuimprove, ni sawa, lakini chakula nyingi hapa Kisumu inatoka nchi zingine. I'll give you an example. Chakula kama yams comes from Uganda, and yet there is a lot of swampy areas in Kisumu. Why can't you empower people so that we produce our own food that we can produce locally? Why is it coming from other countries? And if we do that, we will have created employment. Another thing, agriculture is a devolved function, but as a county, can you look what types of foods are we producing? You'll find that a lot of foods comes from other counties. We are reduced to consumers. There is nothing when that food comes from other counties. For example, if it is tomato, what do we produce that wao wanaenda nayo? Kwa hivyo hapo hivyo muangalie sehemu ya agriculture. Nikitoka hapo nakuja kwa health. Wajua uzima ndio kitu muhimu sana maishani. Na kila mtu akiwa mzima, it means we shall be active as a country, because if you are health-wise good, then you will be productive. Kwa hivyo swala la health muzingatie sana. Kuna watu hawezi lipa hiyo pesa ya SHA, na hapa mtaongea vizuri, lakini ukienda hospitali unaambiwa lipa yote. Ama utapata kutibiwa lakini hakuna madawa. Na yale madawa ambayo unaandikiwa pesa yao ni mingi ambapo mtu hawezi afford. Hiyo mzingatie. Na kuja kwa bodaboda. Bodaboda, this is your county, the leadership in place. We have SACCOs ambazo zinapeana pikipiki as loans. Tukuna watu, tuna mogo, they operate within your jurisdiction. Lakini unapata bodaboda, a motorbike costs 165,000. That is cash price. On higher purchase, unaenda kulipia 300 and something. So you ask yourself, when did higher purchase become twice the cash price? Alafu mtu analipia, it is 300,000, analipia amebakisha 50,000, ananyang'anywa. inauziwa mwingine. Wakati amenyang'anywa, yule atauziwa, atajuaje ilikuwa mbaki 50,000? So nyinyi kama uongozi uliepo inafaa mzingatie, muone mnatusaidia vipi. Jambo lingine, hizi bodaboda unang'ang'ana, ukishalipa ukimaliza unaibiwa. There are cases ambazo unapata kuna links pale ofisini, mtu akimaliza tu leo unasikia siku 2 ameibiwa, siku 3 ameibiwa, na wengi wanauliwa. Kwa hivyo hilo linagusa sehemu ya security. Ili kulinda bodaboda, muimarishe security, na hizi SACCOs mjaribu kuongea nazo because they pay tax kwenyu. La mwisho ningesema hivi, tuna hii barabara kutoka hapa Makasembo inapita Polyview Polytechnic. Hiyo barabara ni ndogo. Wanafunzi wanapotoka shuleni na other pedestrians, hata kupitana ni ngumu. Naona walibomoa wakatoa watu wenye walikuwa kwa barabara. Si watengeze pedestrians strips ili hapo kupita ikuwe rahisi. Kitu cha pili, drainage ya hiyo barabara ni mbaya. Mvua ikinyesha huwezi pita hapo. Manake hapo imekuwa marginalized. Na ukienda sehemu zingine kama Milimani for example, is a place where you will take 10 minutes ndio uone mtu mwingine. There are lots of pedestrian strips everywhere. So to the city manager, hiyo barabara muangalie mambo yake. Asanteni.
Asante. I'll ask this gentleman here and over there, just take 1 minute each because we also need to give them time to respond as we close. Na wakati wetu unaisha.
Asante sana. Kwa majina naitwa Faisal na nilitaka kuzungumzia mambo mawili hivi. Kwanza ni kwa daktari. Kwa appreciate there's a difference ukienda katika Rush Hospital uwezi compare na wakati wa nyuma. Kwa hivyo mimi nashukuru sana kwa hiyo improvement. Umebadilisha ile sehemu inafanana na tofauti sana. Lakini kuna shida tu moja pale katika chumba cha kuhifadhi maiti. Kwanza mimi kama Muislamu tunapata shida sana kama utapata kuna mwili Saturdays. Na kwa kawaida yetu sisi ni kuchukua mwili kwenda kwa kuzika haraka. Na sana sana utapata unaenda kuchukua affidavit. Weekend court haifanyi. Ningependa sana tuwe na mawasiliano bora sana. Tuone njia gani tunaweza tumia wakati kote hazipo zinafanya kazi, tunaweza fanya namna gani? Kwa sababu hatuwezi weka mwili kakaa pale tukingojea mpaka Monday. Jambo lingine nilikuwa naongelea juu ya familia za street. Inaingiliana na mambo ya security. Hapa sijasikia mtu akiongea watu wameuliwa hapa wakipigwa, wanasema kwa lugha ya sheng, wamepigwa ndimba. Watu wamekufa hapa karibu 60 na kitu. Hakuna mtu anaongelea. Mimi mwenyewe nimekuwa karibu juzi victim, nikienda kusali asubuhi fajiri msikitini. Kidogo lakini kaokolewa na mtu ambaye ni wa lori. Hakuna mtu ameongelea juu ya hiyo. Na hizi zinatokana sana na street families. Hata hapa pali tuko, hapa nyuma tu wako wengi sana. Wamama wamedhulumiwa hapa. Hakuna mtu anaongea juu yake. County government tafadhali. Na hata si tafadhali, hii ni lazima. Hakuna hapa kuomba mtu kwa sababu haki ya binadamu ni haki ya binadamu. Hakuna tafadhali. Muone vile mtafanya mtoe hizo street family. Asante.
Asante, tumekupata. Wa mwisho dakika moja tafadhali so that pia wapate time ya kurespond to all your issues. Dakika moja tafadhali. Sawa.
Okay. Good morning to everyone. Kwa majina naitwa Austin Ochieng. Mimi represent Kisumu County Bodaboda Welfare Association. Siku ya leo nina furaha sana kuona NTV wakituletea hii uongee ile akili unayo openly. Kitu ya kwanza nasema bodaboda, mimi kama ule anayesimamia wana bodaboda Kisumu County kama secretary, sisi kama bodaboda tunahofia tumewachwa nje. Maana gani tumewachwa nje? Unapata Kisumu County iko na bodaboda within the wards, tuko na constituency 35 constituencies ambao wako na leaders wao, mimi nikiwa mmoja. Na unapata bodaboda kwa serikali ama nchi yetu ya Kenya, hakuna any institution inaweza andika watu wenye imeandika bodaboda, kwa sababu katika Kenya unapata bodaboda ina play a very critical role. Na hata serikali, mimi bodaboda naweza pima tu na Safaricom peke yake, kwa sababu ukiona saa hii bodaboda vile imeandika hata kwa nyumba yako huwezi lipa yenye watu bodaboda vile wameandika katika nchi. Kwa hivyo tunasema tunaona president anapeana pesa mingi sana kwa wachezaji, na sisi kama wanabodaboda pia tunataka ile pesa yenye wanapewa, at least wanabodaboda wakuwe na organization nyingine wanaweza lipiwa hata SHA. Kwa sababu unapata ukienda kwa hospitali unaitishwa 12,000 ulipe kwanza ndio utibiwe kama mwanabodaboda. Na sisi 12,000 huwezi pata hata kama umelipia hiyo SHA. Tunaomba serikali waone bodaboda ni watu wenye wamejiandika wao wenyewe, na tunaomba serikali kuanzia county government kuelekea ward mpaka national waone watu wa bodaboda ni watu wa muhimu sana katika hii nchi.
Asante. Lazima tumalize sasa. I want to hear from Daktari Richard and of course from Kenneth, who is the CEC for Agriculture. Tumalizie hii maneno because the baraza is ending in about 4 minutes, so I'll give you 2 minutes each. Yeah. Let's pass the mic to Daktari.
Yeah, asante sana Marian. Nataka kumjibu tu Austin kwa sababu ameongea juu ya bodaboda ambao wanapata shida kwa matibabu. Nataka kusema kwamba bodaboda pia ndio wanapatanga accidents mingi sana, na wakipata accidents kuna emergency fund kwa serikali ambayo ni ya SHA. Ulipi chochote ukikuja huko ukiwa na emergency, ukiwa umeangushwa, umeumia, unafanywa matibabu bila hata kuulizwa chochote. Hiyo ni kitu ambayo inafanyika, na ni sio kwa hospitali ya Jaramogi peke yake, katika hospitali zote za Kenya. Hiyo ndio sheria. Najua wengi wetu wananchi hawaelewi. Nataka kueleza kwamba all emergencies are treated without being asked any shilling first. That should be your right. Na nataka kuomba wakati mwingine NTV tusaidiane hata kupeana hii communication. Jambo lingine,
maana tuko hapa,
yes, na hii communication iendelee, na ndio sababu hiyo ndio mko hapa. Jambo lingine nimesikia kutoka kwa Faisal, ameongea juu ya wale ambao wameafa ama wameaga dunia, and we are going to continue, we are going to support you particularly because of your faith. We are going to ensure that we have an arrangement with our courts so that we can get those notifications. In fact, even over the weekends, we usually have a CEO standing in an hospital. There is no vacuum. So we are going to communicate and give that
at
Jaramogi and even all other hospitals that have got inpatient services.
All right.
Nafikiri ya mwisho ilikuwa ni mambo ya SHA.
Yes.
Nafikiri ilikuwa imetoka kwa mmoja wenu hapa. Nataka tu, I want to emphasize, please, let's try as much as we can to register with this for insurance. That's the only insurance we have, as a law person or even as those people who have got the means. And we are saying, even as a government, that we can even allow you to pay pole. There's even an arrangement, a program of how to pay pole. And at the end of the day, even if you don't have any money, I think it's your right to demand, even from the authorities within the hospital, that you have got a patient or you are sick and you don't have any resources, that you need to be supported. I think this is something that can be done. Finally, the issue of indigents, those who have no means. In fact, there is a plan and even a program to ensure that those ones can be supported by government, as long as we actually identify they are actually the real ones. There are some people who are not real. They also lie. They also cheat. So I think we need to have a mechanism where we can be assisted to ensure that we get the right people to be supported. Okay. So I think, as I conclude, the word here is that please, even if you have no money, there is also a scheme, there is actually a structure in all our hospitals on what we call waivers, that you waive the cost of a patient medical cost. And that one is actually done within the hospital environment. You can demand that, and that can be done. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let's hear from Kenneth Onyango, CEC Agriculture. Last word, just in 1.5 minutes if you can.
Thank you so much. I will be extremely brief. First of all, Ali has said that we should do it. We should not try. Actually, we are doing it. And I've given you the statistics that attest to the fact that we are doing it. But we have a challenge also that we must talk about. If you look at those who are engaged in the farming space, they are in the age cohort of 50 to 60. The youth that are supposed to be actively engaged in agriculture have snapped it. And yet, it is also an equal employment opportunity sector. So I want to encourage our youths. We are now forming circles that will be able to give you startup capital to do commercial agriculture. If we are going to exit from subsistence agriculture to commercial agriculture, then I believe we shall be totally food secure in this country. And I want to challenge those ones of us who have got some income. Please don't have income and you eat everything from the supermarket, from the from the market, you must be food secure at household level. That is when we shall be food secure as a county and as a country. Somebody talked about the views of the public not being actualized. We know that public participation is actually entrenched in our constitution, and there is no project that we carry out in the county without hearing from the public. That is why wherever, like we were doing the budget process, we walk all over the county to get the views from the public, so that whatever it is that we do originate from them. Somebody talked about yams. We produce a lot of yams in this county. Go to Muoroni, Ombe, Miwani, Masogo Nyangoma. We produce enormous yams in that area. So for your information, we are actually exporting yams to other counties. And probably finally, we need, the border sector needs to be more organized in terms of forming circles. There was a time a story was highlighted in one of the media houses where some border group in Kitengela formed a circle, and it was a group of about 10,000 people. Every day they were saving 100 shillings. Multiply 100 by 1,000 people per day, per month, per year. Within a very short time, they had saved, and they were able to get a mortgage and build their own housing units. I had challenged a group of border because before I became the Minister for Agriculture, I was actually the majority leader. I told them, can you form a strong circle? We shall get you.
Yeah, sorry. We're completely out of time.
Okay, so in a nutshell, please, as much as we wish that the government comes to your aid, please also be organized, form strong circles, because it is only through these circles that you can get government funding. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. We are completely out of time. It's 10 on the dot. It's 10 on the dot. We do have to let you go, but I want to thank every one of you for coming today and for speaking honestly and giving us your views. We really do appreciate it, and for welcoming us to Dala. We appreciate it, Sana. And of course, a big thank you to our CEO of Jaramogi Oginga Teaching Referral Hospital, Dr. Lesiempe, and of course to Kenneth Onyango, and in his absence, the Deputy Governor. Thank you so much. Asanteni. Jano, we'll see them on when? On Monday?
Monday. We'll see you on Monday. Please follow up with your leaders as well as you, just to make sure that they hold true to their promises. But from me, Janet Bogwa and Mariam Bisha, we'll be back with Eric Latif on Monday, fixing the nation one conversation at a time. Have a great weekend.